This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. It seems to be my full-time job talking about hypocrisy within the Republican Party. Disgracefulness, shamelessness, dignity-free performances on the part of Republicans at every single level. Today I'm going to talk about the hypocrisy in Wyoming. Republicans for a long time, or at least a year or so, have been talking about grooming. Who's a groomer? And who's trying to get children into compromising sexual situations? And it's all nonsense. It's all culture war nonsense. The hypocrisy isn't nonsense, though. It's serious. Right now in Wyoming, Republicans are pushing back against a bill that has been introduced. I don't know why I did the sing-song thing there. But they're pushing back against a bill that would limit the age, put right now in Wyoming, there's no minimum age for marriage in the state. You can be 9 years old and be married off to an adult. And there's a bill HB 0007. And I'll just read what it is: an act related to domestic relations, amending the minimum marriageable age, specifying that marriage involves persons under age 16 are void, making conforming amendments, specifying applicability, and providing for an effective date. And then the first part of it here: at the time of marriage, the parties shall be at least 18 years old, years of age, except as otherwise provided. No person shall marry who is under the age of 16. So they're leaving a carve out for 16 and 17-year-olds if a judge or if certain requirements are met. The same party that talks about groomers wants, and well, I guess to say there's all kinds of pushback from many Republicans within the Wyoming legislature and politics in general who are opposed to this bill. They don't want there to be a minimum age for marriage in the state of Wyoming. They want 9-year-olds to be able to marry. Now, I'm going to read a little bit from this Business Insider article that reads from an email that was sent from the Republican Party of Wyoming. Title of this article: Wyoming Republicans are criticizing a child marriage bill that seeks to raise the legal age to 18. It's sponsored by one of their own party members. So a Republican is putting this bill forward. In a mass email sent Thursday, the Wyoming Republican Party argued the law raises, quote, concerns about constitutional rights and denies the fundamental purpose of marriage as well as parental rights. Marriage is the only institution. This is, again, continuing with the email or the statement from the Wyoming Republican Party. Marriage is the only institution in Wyoming statute designed to keep a child's father and mother living under the same roof and cooperating in raising of any child that they together conceive. That is the natural right of every child, the group wrote. The email continues that since minors are capable of bearing children before they are 16, marriage should be an open option for the sake of those children. Now, look, there are many flaws in this particular line of thinking because, of course, 16-year-olds are capable of being pregnant, but the age that any individual goes through puberty and is able to have children varies. It's not just 9-year-olds can have their period and go through puberty and have a child, are capable physically, biologically of being pregnant. So if you go through puberty very early and you're 7 or 9 years old, you're good to go. You should be able to be married off by your parents. Should a parent be able to decide for a child that you're going to be married? I'm going to determine the outcome of your life. that I'm ordering you as your parent. You have no consent in this matter. You're going to be married. And then that's the way it is. And Republicans think that's okay, but trans healthcare is not okay. The age of consent isn't just about sex. It's about autonomy. It's about agency. It's about being able to sign contracts to indebt yourself by signing, like buying a house or buying a car or getting a credit card. Making self-decisions. Should we also let 9 and 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds join the military? Should they be able to drink? Make decisions like adult decisions like that as well? Well, Republican Party doesn't think so. There was a case, I think, in Florida where a young minor girl was pregnant and the judge would not allow her, this may have been Texas, would not allow her to get an abortion because she was not old enough to make a serious decision like that. Yet they're old enough to go get married. This is the state of the Republican Party today. It is abhorrent, it is disgusting, and it is at the very least on the spectrum of terrible, hypocritical. For them to have the temerity to point the finger at others, calling them groomers. Drag Queen Story Hour is apparently grooming kids, but marrying off 9-year-olds and being in opposition to, and some of the arguments here are, like, what about the Amish community in Wyoming? What about them? There's lots of laws that curtail religious liberties. Polygamy is illegal in Wyoming. I don't hear anybody whining about that. Republicans are hypocrites. They don't care about the welfare of children. It is a ruse. It is a distraction. It is nothing but making noise and rattling chains to get the attention of everyone about their culture war nonsense, to distract from the point that they don't have any policy prescriptions that are going to better anyone's life, and that we are an attempt is being made to drag us back hundreds of years into some Christo-fascist nightmare. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you live in Wyoming. I'd really love to know if you live in Wyoming. I grew up in Idaho. Wyoming is a border state to Idaho. This kind of talk every few years gets talked about in my home state as well. But if you live there, I'd really love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'd love to see you there. I am switching things up in the studio, losing the lavalier microphone until I can get the acoustics dealt with in here. So you'll be seeing the stupid boom mic in my face until I can get that addressed. I was out most of last week being sick, still not feeling great, but feeling good enough to work. So I'm happy about that. Thanks for joining me today. If you appreciate what I do and you want to help support my work, click the join button below, become a channel member, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.